Good morning, Raptor freaks. Lexi Otts here. It's Wednesday morning, and the Raptors are playing the Hornets today. Excuse me. I guess I have something in my throat. Yeah, it's the last home game of the season for the Raptors. They're going to be playing the Hornets. It's a GOAT night, which is greatest of all time kind of night. They've had a few of them this season to celebrate different people like Roy Woods and Vince Carter. Recently in this year. And well, the GOAT for tonight is apparently the fans because it's going to be a fan appreciation game. And they're going to do a lot of different things for the fans in appreciation for coming out and supporting the team this year. And in some ways, the figurehead for the GOAT night is Nav Bhatia. So they're going to be probably talking about Nav tonight at the game. So be ready for that. It's fan night, GOAT night, and yeah, there'll be some tie-ins with that. So there's a lot on the injury list. So let's get right into it with the latest lineup news, and I've got the refs also right afterwards. So there's a lot. The Raptors are going to be playing the very end of the bench today, like more so than they have in this last part of the season. Jacoby Walter is out for today's game. It's a hip injury. It's probably not a big deal or anything serious. It's just that they need a reasoning for him to be sitting today. And well, he's going to be sitting, y'all. There will be no Jacoby Walter tonight against the Hornets. Abaji's getting a rest day as they do the rest flip. So he is out for the game tonight. Jamal Shed is also getting a rest day today, guys. He is not have an injury list. He's just sitting. So that's how deep we're going with the benching. That Shed and Walter are going to be sitting today against the Hornets, just so y'all know. Scotty Barnes is questionable. He should be playing because he needs to play all three of the last games to get to 65 to be considered for all defensive team honors. So Scotty has major incentive to make it out on the court. Darko said in the practice interview yesterday that the rest days that Scotty has had for his hand have been really good over the last 4 or 5 days without playing. That he did re-aggravated in that last game he played against the team, and when he only got 5 points, and that it was hurting pretty bad. So Scotty will be hopefully playing tonight. I'm going to bet that he does play the last 3 games and he makes his 65 game goal. I'm going to bet that right now. Pirtle's questionable for the game also with a hand contusion similar to Scotty's injury. Now, Pirtle didn't play in the last game. He should be on duty to come back for this game, but it could very well be that Jakob's going to miss a second game in the row tonight. Brandon Ingram is out, of course. Grady Dick's been shut down for the season. And Ulrich Shamshay is also out for the Raptors. There's no listing of RJ Barrett being out for rest tonight. That's an interesting aberration to the normal rest flip that they've been doing in the last month, where Abaji and Barrett have been paired, and it's Jakob and IQ that are paired otherwise. But it looks like we may have barbecue tonight, even though we don't have Walter and Shed and possibly not Pirtle. It looks like we'll probably have Emmanuel, Scotty, and RJ, though, playing tonight, which is nice. So my starting lineup that I'm predicting for the Raptors tonight will be Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Jamison Battle, and Jonathan Mobo. That's who I think they'll start tonight from who's available. So the NBA, ESPN matchup predictors are saying that we have a 78% chance to beat the Hornets tonight in Toronto in our last home game. So 78% chance Raptors will win, according to ESPN. Charlotte does not have any injuries listed on their page, but they do have guys that are not available. And those are their main guys. Brandon Miller, LaMelo Ball, they are not playing at this point in the season, so they're not even anywhere on the depth chart, excuse me. Also, I'm seeing that Josh Green's going to be out. Damian Bow also will be out. So who's going to be playing for the Hornets today? Well, the starting lineup looks kind of like this. KJ Simpson, Seth Curry, Daquan Jeffries, Miles Bridges and Mark Williams. So there's really only two regular starters in this lineup. It's the center and Miles Bridges. Mark Williams and Mark Bridges. Miles Bridges are the two like only regular starters. You got Seth Curry starting, and he's not normally a starter. And then it's two young players. So KJ Simpson, Seth Curry, Daquan Jeffries, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams, projected starting lineup for tonight. Off the bench, Nick Smith Jr., Tijani Saloon, Yusuf Nurkic is available, Josh Okogie, Wendell Moore Jr., Musa Diabate, Jalen Sims, Taj Gibson is the bench for the Hornets. Yeah. So, yeah, they're going to be very, very not talented. This is going to be a lot like the Nets game on Sunday, where the Hornets just don't have a lot of good players, and they shouldn't put up much of a fight. The Raptors should win today. They should win their last home game and get their 30th victory today, is what I'm saying. Yeah, we may be sitting Shed and Walter, but they don't have anybody, and we have better talent. We do have better talent. The referee report is as such. In the replay center, it will be Courtney Kirkland, Brandon Schwab, and Inte Huang that will be sitting in Secaucus. For our game on site, we'll have our crew chief will be Trey Maddox from Illinois, 14th season, number 23, like Michael Jordan. His favorite TV show is Power. He likes the movie Training Day. He listens to Michael Jackson. His book is A Quiet Strength. His favorite meal is steak and lobster. His favorite app is Fight List. He'd most like to visit Dubai. His bucket list is attend the Open Championship, and his hidden talent is playing the piano. Trey Maddox has officiated 667 regular season games and 31 playoff games in 13 seasons as an NBA staff official. He made his playoff debut as an NBA referee in the 2018-19 season. That was the season we won the championship. Yeah, we got his playoff debut. Trey is the best referee today. We lost all 3 games that he's reffed this year so far, though. We win 56% of our games in the career of Trey Maddox being present, and the Hornets win 52%. So it's 56-52 for the Raptors in this situation with Trey Maddox, the crew chief. The second ref is Andy Nagy out of Toledo, Ohio, number 83, fifth year. He likes Seinfeld, Metallica, Filet Mignon, Spotify, Maldives. He wants to get a hole-in-one in golf, and he's a barbecue expert. So maybe we are going to have barbecue tonight because there's a barbecue expert, this referee. Andy Nagy has officiated 188 regular season games and 4 seasons as an NBA staff official. He refereed 6 seasons in the G League, where he worked the playoffs 3 years in 2016 to 2018, and the finals 2 years, 2017 and 2018. Yeah, Andy Nagy is the middle of the road ref for today. We've only seen him once this year. We've had him 1 game this year, and we lost it. So that's an 0-4 record with the refs so far. His record for his career with the Raptors is 47% winning and 30% winning for the Hornets. So 47-30 for the Raptors with Andy Nagy, the second ref. The third ref is the old head, Michael Smith out of Memphis, Tennessee, 32nd season as an NBA ref, number 38. His favorite show is NCIS New Orleans. He likes the movie Training Day, just like Trey Maddox. He listens to Charlie Wilson. His favorite book is The President is Missing. His favorite meal is dinner. He likes the ESPN app. He most like to visit the White House. Maybe not right now. Bucket list is to skydive. Michael Smith has officiated 1,764 regular season games and 60 playoff games and 31 seasons as an NBA staff official. He officiated the NBA All-Star Game in 2008 in New Orleans and also in 2023, the All-Star Game in Salt Lake City. Yeah. Other career highlights include working the 1997 NBA Rising Stars competition, the 2000 NBA Mexico City game, and the 2003 NBA Paris game. Yeah, Michael Smith's been in the league longer than the Raptors have existed. We've won both the games that he's refereed this year. So he's reffed twice for us this year, and we won both those games. We win 46% of our games with Michael Smith. That's the lowest percentage of the 3 refs. And the Hornets actually have a higher winning percentage, 48%. So there is a split towards the Hornets with old head referee Michael Smith. 46-48 is the split. So yeah, it's not a horrible ref crew. Trey Maddox has been pretty fair to us in this year, and Andy Nagy's a pretty run of the mill young ref that does a good job. Michael Smith is great. I mean, even though his record with us isn't the best, he's old school like Tony Brothers, and in some ways, I don't know how many more years Michael Smith's going to be refereeing. So I wish him all the best, and I like this ref crew overall. So there's your refs. They're not bad. They could be worse. They could be worse. Let's see what you guys are saying this morning. Trevor J's first with his words of wisdom. Thank you, Trevor, for being here. Becoming less reactive is a huge part of growing and decreasing stress. If you let everything get you worked up, you're damaging your mind, body, and spirit. Yeah. Yeah. In this world, as it gets more weird and stuff, it's better to be cool as a cucumber and just try and be chill. And, it's tough not to get emotional and upset about things. It's tough to not feel indignation and anger about injustices and weird stuff that's going on right now. Yeah, it's tough, man. I appreciate you, Trevor, for your words of wisdom, man. Thank you, Trevor. I do really appreciate it, man. He's saying, happy game day. Let's go win tonight. Yeah. 29 wins right now. We win tonight. That's 30 wins. That's fantastic. I don't want to have a 20-win season. We've had many 20-win seasons in the Raptors history in the 30 years. Not many, but we've had our share. And I don't want to add another one. So getting a 30-win plateau tonight against the Hornets matters to me. We played the Hornets a couple times already this year, and we're actually 1-1 with them in the record, I believe. Like we won one, they've won one. So this is actually for the season series, this game tonight. So if we win the season series. It's basically it. So it's like three games were played with them, and we've each won one. So it's kind of like it's time to win a season series and beat the Hornets at 2-1 for the year. So yeah, let's see. Trevor's saying as of that last night, Phoenix is eliminated from the playoff and the Kings are in the play-in. I was wrong. You guys were right. And I'm admitting it right now. You guys were right about this playoff race for the play-in in the Western Conference. You guys said the Mavericks would stay in the play-in. And I was saying, nah, the Suns will get there somehow, some way. But I forgot that Kevin is a loser and somebody who just give up on his team. If he doesn't like the settings or what's going on around him, he's not going to try. And the thing that Kevin's doing right now is he's sitting out. He's not playing. So he's not even available to help them try and get this play-in spot. So now they're officially eliminated. Well, they get what they get. And Lex was wrong. And, Lex is wrong all the time. I'm not somebody who's just perfect and says everything exactly right. Well, this is one where I'm wrong, and I'm willing to admit it. And you guys were right. So good job, guys. Trailblazers done too. Yeah, Trailblazers were eliminated a couple days ago out of it. So the playoff picture is pretty much set right now for who's going to be in and who's going to be out. There's some stuff that's got to be worked out still for seeding and where people are going to be, specifically in the middle of the Western Conference out there, and also some parts of the Eastern Conference are still waiting to be settled in the last few games of the season for home court and matchup, who's going to be playing who and stuff like that. Yeah, Monique is here. Good to see the super fan Monique Lawrence in the chat. Mo, I miss you. This is going to be weird leaving Facebook. In some ways, I really want you to try and get on Discord still. I know that you've had frustrations with it in the last few days, but I feel like it'll be worth it if you can get through and get in there established, because I don't want to be in there without you. You're a very, very important friend to me, and I don't want to be like divided up from you. And I know me leaving Facebook's not helping. In some ways, I'm second guessing leaving Facebook because I feel like I might need to stay a little bit in there, like with a foot in there. But I really do want to just leave it outright, guys. I really, really do. But it's tough because I do want to keep the connections with people like we've done on that site. And there's other things that I do on that site that are still very important to me. But I'm trying to make arrangements so that I can leave so that I don't have to worry about those things anymore. And, we'll see. I mean, there are days where I'm like, yeah, I'm getting the hell out of here. But then there's other days I'm like, how can I get out of here? Because there's too much essential in here. But yeah, I love you, Mo. And I hope that we can figure it out this summer so that you can still try and be in Discord. I know that you kind of threw your hands up and said, fuck this shit. But I feel like we could get this figured out and get you in there because there's so much fun stuff happening. I mean, yesterday when it was announced that Michael Malone had been fired by the Denver Nuggets, we had an impromptu Raptor Freak chat in there with Stargate and Reggie and Bryce and Tristan. And we're all just in there chatting about what just happened. And it was cool to have the voices and the opinions. Stargate specifically, hearing what Stargate had to say about the Malone firing yesterday was very fun to hear. And I don't want you to miss out on that, Mo, because I feel like you're a voice and an important person that can be involved to talk to us and have your opinions heard too. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Happy game day. Last home game. Thank you all for following my journey for the 10 years. For those have been, appreciate you near and far. Yeah. Mo, you're awesome. You're the super fan. You need to go this game tonight because in some ways this GOAT night is for you because it's for the fans and you're the epitome of a fan. And I appreciate your friendship. I've probably been your friend for about 10 years now, if not a little bit longer. And I appreciate your journey. And I do see it. And I see how far you progressed. And I'm proud of you. I'll say that. I'm very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. Stargate's here. Stargate's here. Good morning, Raptor Freak family. Weird stuff going on in the NBA this season. Very strange firings and strange trade. Yeah, Luka, Taylor Jenkins. Michael Malone. Yeah, that really was a weird one. I don't know. Like Stargate and I, this is what we talked about yesterday. That there's a little bit of weird shenanigans that may be going on to help the Lakers. That these teams that just fired their coach in their last 2 weeks, the last week really, both of them have been thorns in the side to the LA Lakers in the playoffs in the past. They've been people that have literally put the Lakers out of the playoffs, the Nuggets for sure. And well, is there some sort of weird directive? Adam Silver's like, hey, you guys should fire your coaches right before the playoffs so you're in disarray so that there's an easier path for Luka and LeBron to try and get to the NBA Finals. One of the things I talked about with Stargate yesterday, and I hope this doesn't happen, guys. I'm not saying that I want this to happen. And maybe I shouldn't even speak it into existence because I don't want this to happen, is what if the Lakers make it to the Western Conference Finals and they're against the Thunder and SGA? And the NBA do a ref hit job a la 2002 when they did it to the Sacramento Kings to help the Lakers and Shaq and Kobe before. Everybody knows about that series against the Kings with Michael Bibby and Chris Webber and those guys, how they got screwed over by the referees with really, really horrendous calls. And it was blatantly obvious that the NBA was script writing the Lakers to get to the finals. The Kings were getting screwed over left and right. I hope they don't do this shit this year because they're worried about LeBron leaving because he's going to retire soon. They want one last hurrah. They want one last big ticket. They're going to try and railroad a Lakers versus Celtics final and screw over SGA and the Thunder with refereeing like they did to the Kings 20 years ago. I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen, but you heard me just say it. And if we see this shit happen, well, we know they script right. That's what I'll say right there. So, yeah, I hope that doesn't happen, man. James is saying, do you see Jokic getting traded? Jokic will be amazing on the Raps. Also, the Darko connection. Yeah, this is one of the things that's annoying, a byproduct of the firing yesterday is now Raptors Nation is saying, oh, now they want to hire the coach. Now they want to get Jokic on our team and trade guys to get him. I don't like this energy. In some ways, just because another team has dysfunction and they fired somebody, we've got something good going on, Raptors fans, and we don't need to mess with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what they say, right? So right now, things with the Raptors aren't broken. We're not in a position where we need to make drastic changes or huge changes. We need to go forward with what we've got and continue to see what we can get to with what we got. You know, this is stupid. Just because something like this happens doesn't mean Jokic is for sure available. I know it's natural for people to think, oh, well, what if we got him now and all this stuff? Well, what at what cost? Would that mean Scotty's a Denver Nugget? That's what I'm saying. And I know that it's natural to put the two together. And that may actually very well be something that if Jokic is going to leave, could be in our favor because our coach is the Serbian coach, Darko Rajakovic. But you know, this is what Stargate said yesterday. I believe him. If Jokic is going to go anywhere other than Denver, he's going to go home. I don't think he'll go to another team in the NBA. He'll go back and play professionally in Serbia when he's home, closer to his horses. Then he doesn't have to put up with the USA's bullshit and all the other crap with the NBA. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what could happen. Anything could happen. But the one thing I will know is I trust Bobby and Masai to make the right decisions. And I don't see them scrapping their entire plan to go do something crazy. Now, that granted, if we have some failure getting in the playoffs in the next couple of years and some sort of thing can be finagled to get Jokic on our team, I'm sure Masai could figure it out if that's possible. But I'm not into these ideas. Once again, I'm really happy with what we got. I'm not trying to look at other yards and saying the grass is greener somewhere else. And I want to see, we haven't even seen fucking Brandon Ingram play for our team yet. And Raptors fans are already like, oh, fire Darko and get Michael Malone. Oh, let's get Jokic. And all this. I'm like, fuck this shit. We got a good thing going, and we don't need to change things up right now. Now, if we get to a point where we feel like we're spinning our wheels and we're not getting anywhere, that's when you do something like fire Dwayne Casey and trade DeMar DeRozan. But we're not at that point. We're at the very early stages of the buildup. And any kind of drastic changes, well, that's a Knicks move. That's a Knicks move. The Knicks could get it right, and they could have it going like we do right now, and they'll screw it up because they'll make a major flashy trade, and then they'll fuck up their actual path to the next championship for them because they made a big flashy move because Knicks fans wanted it and they cried about it. And also they thought, oh, this is what we'll do. We'll just try and cheat to get to the top by just making a quick move when that shit doesn't usually work anymore. So the way the Nuggets built to their championship is staying with their core and believing in them and putting time invested in them. That Nuggets championship didn't happen overnight. That happened over like 6 years of build. And that's what I say to this. It's like that's a New York Knicks move, is to just scrap your team just for one superstar player all of a sudden, and you really kind of screw up your team's chemistry, and you actually step back doing that instead of just going on the path you're already on, which is towards another championship already. So yeah, that's what I would say to Raptors fans today that are kind of getting to. I'm not saying James is like this, but I'm just saying that this is the way I look at it. Is yeah, Jokic may be very good on the Raptors, and he may be very fun to watch being coached by Darko. But at what cost? And why do we bust the bubble that we've already got going that's really good? That's what I would say to that. Yeah. Yeah. They are good friends. Darko and Jokic are good friends as their countrymen, and they've been around each other. But I don't know. Jokic is weird. Like in some ways, he won a championship. He's already won one. What is his drive to get another one? Would he be a player that would actually go all out? In some ways, he's in that Luka category of like, I know he's great with his stats and everything and does crazy things, but is this dude actually really trying as hard as he could? Is there certain things where you can trust him in certain ways? I don't know. I mean, he did get there once. He's a proven champion, but does he have another NBA championship in his career? Maybe not, because once you get there, one of the hardest things to do is to win another one because you've already done it. And he doesn't seem like the guy psychology wise to be like, yeah, I got to top this next. No, he's just goofing through life. And he's kind of just a happy go lucky guy who likes horses and beer. And in some ways, it's like, collecting championships. I don't know if that's really like something that drives him. I think it's just, I want to play basketball and it's fun. That's stuff I worry about with him. I mean, that label that the Mavericks put on Luka can be somewhat a little bit put on Jokic. Can be a little bit. Now, them moving Jokic is very possible. The people that are going to take over the jobs for Calvin Booth and Michael Malone ain't got nothing to work with. The Nuggets franchise has no assets, no money, no really good young prospects, and they may need to trade Jokic to get a whole kit and caboodle of new things to replenish their team. And that may be what's happening next soon. So this very well may be something that is a reality coming up, that Nikola is on the market and a possibility to come to a team. So it's a weird thing, man. If you were to put a deal down, what would you offer? I don't know, man. In some ways, this isn't the kind of stuff I like to do. You know that, James. But I mean, I would guess that if there's any kind of way that we're going to get Nikola Jokic from Denver, Scotty Barnes is going to have to be involved. Seriously. And that means it's not going to be anytime soon. That means Scotty's no trade clause, which is he doesn't have a no trade clause. He can't be traded because of his extension right now. But in like a year or two, maybe he can be traded. But I wouldn't do that anyway. I love Scott. I'm not going to sell out Scott for an older player named Jokic who's already won. And as I said, I question his drive for a championship. I don't question Scott's. I know Scotty wants to win a championship because he had won one, but Nikola's won one. And how much drive does he really have to try and win another one? I would question that. That dude's not totally serious with his life. You know that. He's not totally serious about his life. That's right. Let's go. All right, let's see what else you guys are saying here. Let's see. Stargate saying, "Oh my God," and the fuckery begins. Shaking my head. Oh yeah. Well, listen. I know James's questions are valid though. These are things that we should exploratorily look into. Yeah, I don't like the idea of flipping anything with Malone for Darko. Fuck that. That's a non-starter with me. But the idea of possibly acquiring Nikola Jokic in the future on the Raptors, it is something we need to explore and talk about whether it's realistic or not. And it could be. I mean, once again, we got to trust Masai. Masai's the magician. And if he's going to make anything happen like he did with Kawhi Leonard, he will. He will. If he can, he will. But I don't know if that's the right move. That's right. Tristan saying, let's go for 30 wins. That's right. 30 wins tonight. Let's go. I'm all about that. Knicks and Pacers for postseason. That would be always a good classic matchup in the first round. Pacers and Knicks. A lot of history there. Reggie Miller, Spike Lee. Yeah, that's always a fun matchup. So you're going for those teams because of our guys Siakam and Anunoby. Yeah, OG's had a really good week in the last week. You know, some people have been coming out and saying dumb shit like, "Oh man, the Raptors obviously lost the OG trade because they got two mid players for a player that is really good on defense and can hit threes." That's just spin, man. That's perspective. You can look at it all kinds of different ways and spin it however you want. Toronto Sun or any other fucking dirtbag media people that want to nag and gaslight Raptors fans on this. We got two starters that are developing young stars. OG's a little bit further in his career and he's a little bit more established. But we got two stars that are going to grow into something even bigger. Emmanuel Quickley's not mid. The person that described RJ and Emmanuel as mid players, you're an idiot, first of all, because Emmanuel Quickley is going to get better and better as a scorer and a playmaker for the Raptors. And RJ Barrett is getting better on defense, and he's becoming a better and better star too. He's not even 25. So I can't say definitively who won the OG trade, but I think that people that are just declaring that the Knicks won it because OG's recent success, you're idiots. Because this is a long thing that's going to have to figure it out over time. And once again, I'll say this. The team that got Malachi Flynn lost that trade no matter what. That's just what I got to say on that. The team that got Malachi Flynn lost that trade no matter what. That's right. Carl Kaloy's here. Morning, Lex and Freaks. Good morning to you, Carlo JS. Good to see you, man. Let's see. James is saying Discord is like WhatsApp group chat, not bad app. Yeah, I like the Discord so far. We've been able to talk and watch videos together. We actually watched the practice interviews together yesterday with Darko and Scotty and RJ. So that's the kind of fun thing is in some ways the Discord's allowing you guys to see how I do my show behind the scenes. Like after the game, I'll go in the Discord and I'll put the box score up and I'll literally do the procedure for how I figure out my stars of the game with whoever's online with me and sitting there can talk to me and we can like figure it out. Trevor J was helping me figure out my stars of the game, the last game after the game. You know, we can watch the highlights and the post game interviews on it together and comment in real time, reacting to it. It's been really cool. It's really interactive. And in some ways you guys get to see some of my process for how I do things for setting up the channel. I've shown people on the Discord my ref report spreadsheet because you can share a screen. Yesterday I watched the new To The Point with King episode with Coach Roach live on there, and you could actually watch it with me and we could react to it and talk about, you know, what they're saying. So there's a lot of possibilities with Discord. They're fantastic, James. And I believe you're in there. I think I've seen your name in there. I'm pretty sure. If you're not, you should get in there. Stargate saying Mo, Blackhawk, Wayne, Fiercey, Cool Cat. These are just some of the Raptor Freak family I wish could also join us in the Discord voice chat. Well, all of them except for Wayne are in there. Cool Cat has joined the Discord server, but she just may be very busy right now with work and different things that she's not able to be there with us. But she has told me that she's very excited about being on Discord with us in a similar way to how she's been on Spaces with Twitter and Zazu. So she's all about it. It's just that she's in a really hectic period of time with her work right now, she's told me. And I know Fiercey has also been extremely busy with work also. So they're there. I've spoken with Fiercey on Discord. She's there. Blackhawk is there also. Monique is there technically, but she's having a hard time getting back in. Wayne, I'm not sure if we'll get in there, but I would like Wayne to join too. It's a really, really great resource, and we're going to get them in there. G and Infamous. G's in there. I'm pretty sure G's in there. I'm not sure about Infamous. We'll try and get them in there too. Let's see what else you guys are saying. G saying, do these fans not understand that there is a better chance of Joker coming to Toronto because of Darko? Not that I'm advocating for that, just pointing out this weird narrative that there is a better chance. Not understand. So you're saying there is a better chance. I think there is a better chance that he could come here. Seriously, because of Darko. I think that's true. But in some ways, that doesn't mean we necessarily need to try and do it or actually do it. I have my concerns about Nikola. I really do. I understand he's a really, really good player in all kinds of different ways. And in some ways, if the deal was right and we could keep enough good people around, maybe it would add up to a championship. But I feel like right now, once again, we haven't seen Brandon Ingram play yet for the Raptors. We need to discover where we're at right now before we make further moves to change things, because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Let's see. Thanks, Stargate. Probably won't happen, but we'll be here. Train. Wait, what was that? Train. I don't know what that means. Anyway, Trevor's saying, I didn't like what Toronto Sun wrote up about Jacoby and Grady. Yeah, they're shit disturbers. And one of the things we've got to realize is the Toronto Sun is not necessarily a good place to get your news. There's a lot of propaganda and a lot of bullshit in there. There always has been. But in now recent times with politics and stuff like that, they're going to be sliding more deep into right-wing bullshit and rhetoric. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the Toronto Sun at some point advocates for us to join the United States, because it's like that. So you can't trust this shit. Their front page cover of the Toronto Sun yesterday said that China's choice for prime minister is Mark Carney. Like they're trying to advertise and influence the election by putting on their cover and associating Mark Carney with China. It's bullshit, man. I wouldn't believe anything that's in the Toronto Sun. It's barely a newspaper. It's a tabloid, and it's a right-wing farce is what it is at this point. So, yeah, they wrote an article in which what happened was an aggregator on Instagram took a picture and one quote from a line from it, and they put it on broadcast. So in some ways, it's their fault, Trevor. It's the account that you went and reposted. They don't need to put this on blast. Just because some idiot Sun writer wrote this. They said Jacoby Walter had a really good season this year, but Grady Dick not so much. That's all they said, really, is Dick not so much. In some ways, there's nothing wrong with that statement in it being in the copy, in the text, in the article in the Sun. But when they put it on blast on Instagram, Raptors updates or whatever, that's not helpful. They don't need to put that on blast. They could just let that fucking dumbass sentence rot on the Toronto Sun's newspaper page, but they decided to carry it. And that's why I would be mad at the Instagram account, Trevor, because they're broadcasting shit that Raptors fans and Raptors just don't need broadcasted. I think that in some ways the actual statement is stupid, because Grady Dick's been hurt for the second half of the season, and we haven't seen him recently. And if people actually remember what Grady did this year, he was actually grew and he got better this year. He was very good at the beginning of the year when we had injuries, carrying our team in the absence of Scotty, Emmanuel, and RJ at different times. He was one of our leading scorers. He was putting up a lot of good numbers in November and December. And, well, what have you done for me lately, Janet Jackson? He's been hurt. And so they haven't seen him recently. And we've seen Jacoby Walter playing exemplary in recent weeks. So it's easy for a dumbass, shallow reporter for the Toronto Sun to say, Jacoby Walter really good this year. Grady Dick, not so much. Why? Because he's been hurt? Because he hasn't been able to be on the court? That's not fair to Grady. And that's kind of bullshit the Toronto Sun and other media people that are trying to gaslight or do stupid shit will do. Is just dumb shit like this. And honestly, Trevor, we should be mad at the Facebook or the Instagram account that put this on blast. That took one little that was not the title of the article. That was just a sentence in the middle of the article that easily could have just been swinged out. And really what they said is not really that bad. They're saying is Grady not so much. But that's actually bullshit. It's just that Grady's been hurt lately, and you don't have it fresh in your mind, the work he put in this year and got better on, because you don't see it right now. In some ways you're enamored with the J Rooks and how much they've grown. Jamal Shed, Jacoby Walter, Jonathan Mobo, Jamison Battle. But Grady has not played since that Orlando game when he got hurt. And that's part of it, is that people have recency bias and they don't remember. Grady was playing excellent, playing very, very good this year. And it's stupid. It's stupid, man. That's what they said, Tristan. They basically said Jacoby Walter, great year. Grady Dick, not so much. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's a stupid comment. They shouldn't ever put that shit out there. Honestly, Raptors updates, fucking pick your content better. Seriously. If you're trying to cause controversy or just just stop. Just stop. Seriously, you're not helpful to the team. How about that? Yeah, that's what I try and say with my content on here is what I say about the team. I want it to be helpful to Masai Ujiri and the Toronto Raptors organization. I don't want to be causing more dissent or problems for them. I want to put out fires more than I want to make fires. And well, a lot of these Instagram accounts, like this guy in Saskatchewan, 416 Raptors or wherever, he's a piece of shit. There's a lot of people that are just putting out bullshit that's not helpful to the team. And that is not helpful to the team. And that Instagram account for putting that shit out, they're fuck them. That's what I said. 2 finger salute for them and for Lubomir. Yeah, 2 finger salute for Lubomir too. That's just a little extra personal one right there. I'll say that. And a 2 finger salute for Lubomir. Yeah, we're gonna say that right now. Let's see. Carlos saying that Vegas has Toronto a plus 1,000 as Jokic's next team. Shaking my head. Yeah, they're gonna jump on this bullshit. They're gonna try and stir the pot. But once again, the Raptors are really smart about holding on to what's working and what makes sense. They're not shuffling up the deck every couple of years quickly in franticness or in panic mode. No, we're keeping strong to the course that we've already set, and we're going to keep cruising to it. Trust me. That's the way that Bobby and Masai have done it the whole time they've been in charge of this team. And I wouldn't think they'd do it any different now just because some things happened in Denver yesterday. So, yeah, fans can get all crazy and like little kids seeing a shiny, bright new object distracted, and they're going to go look at that next. But no, the front office is really smart. Ujiri knows what he's doing. He's the head of the whole thing. He's not going to do anything unless it's going to work. And, yeah, are we going to see a trade like the Kawhi trade for Nikola Jokic in the next couple of years? Maybe. But it's not going to be now. It's not going to be next year. It could be down the road. I don't know. James saying, I don't see Masai giving up Scotty anytime soon. From past history, Masai was very patient with DeRozan before he made that trade. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The only reason why he did the DeRozan trade is because they bumped their head on the ceiling of what they could do. And we haven't done that yet with our team right now. So why would we do a Kawhi-like move now for a Nikola Jokic if we haven't even tested our sports car on the racetrack yet to see how fast it can go? That's what we have to do. In some ways, we have to go through 4 or 5 years possibly of different playoff stuff and seeing just how far we can go with this team. And you know what? Nikola by then may be too old, or Nikola by then may be not available because he's on another team, totally different and locked down in a different way. The timeline may not fit. People talk about timelines with players and stuff like that. Well, the timeline of acquiring Nikola when he's available because of the situation, it may not fit with what we're trying to do, and what it may be more of a distraction and more of a New York Knicks kind of move that actually backfires. And that's what I'm saying right there. James is right. We were very patient with Casey and DeRozan, and we allowed them a lot of years of playing the playoffs against LeBron and everything that happened. We know, Raptors history. You know it. Yeah, Trevor's saying Scotty said yesterday he's excited about next season. Yeah, the interviews with RJ and Scotty were different. The one with Scotty was very jubilant and saying, yeah, you can't see that I'm smiling. I'm smiling because I know we have a bright future. I really enjoy our young players and playing with them. He really has really enjoyed being that captain and that team leader with young rookies on the team
and them under his wing, and him kind of like working with Shed and Walter and these guys and being proud of them. One of the things Scotty said in his interview yesterday is from training camp, he knew Jacoby Walter was going to be like this. He saw it right away. So he's not shocked by the great growth of the rookie Jacoby Walter this year. And he's actually saying that he's really proud of him too. So Scotty's a big fan of Walter, and he made that clear yesterday. And then RJ, his interview sucked. In some ways, it was annoying. It wasn't RJ's fault. They asked him about everybody except for himself, and I hate that. In some ways, I don't know if y'all are trying to gaslight RJ or neg him or something because you only ask questions about Scotty, you only ask questions about SGA, and you didn't ask any questions personally to RJ about his season and how he felt about it. RJ is the leading scorer for the Raptors this year. RJ has been an absolutely essential player for our team. He's been a hometown hero. He's played with his heart on his sleeve, and he's been a badass. But once again, there's a weird media blackout on RJ in certain ways with the NBA, NBA Canada, Canadian sports media, and American sports media. And it's exemplified by Josh Lundberg asking him, well, how did you feel about Scotty's year? What did Scotty do this year that he changed? And it's like RJ's a bigger man. He's a humble guy. And he will answer the question. He's like, man, I love playing with Scott. He's so fun. He's just really, really a great player to be on a team with. He's just taking the high road. But in some ways, it's annoying because in some ways you can tell the press ask questions like that towards him to maybe divide up our guys and maybe cause dissension or jealousy. RJ's smarter than that. He's bigger than that. He's confident enough in himself that he doesn't take that bait on that bullshit and fall for like, oh, you guys are talking about Scotty. What about me? He's not an egoist that he's going to be like that. He knows he's good and he's confident. And in some ways, he doesn't have any problem talking up people that he plays with that he cares about. The other person they asked him about was SGA and the Thunder and the possibilities of him making MVP. Of course, being teammates on Team Canada's men's basketball team, RJ's very familiar with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And he handled those questions about the best Canadian player in the world right now very gracefully also. And it's funny, they told RJ, if he wins the MVP this year, and RJ said he thinks he should win it, he will be the second Canadian to ever be the MVP of the NBA. And the first MVP of the NBA that was Canadian is the godfather of Rowan Barrett Jr., Steve Nash. So it's like, why don't y'all ask RJ about him? Be a little classy, press. And like, know your subject is the subject of who you're talking to. And, you can ask Lewinberg, you want to ask him about Scotty because you're writing an article about Scotty and you want quotes from RJ about Scotty. I get it. But somebody should have asked RJ about himself at some point. It just seems kind of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Kareem's saying, so if Giannis loves Masai and Jokic loves Darko, what are we waiting for? Laugh out loud. We're not going to get both of them, Kareem. And what are we waiting for? The Giannis sweepstakes never happened. They never, ever happened. That man stayed loyal to his first team, the Milwaukee Bucks. And he's still loyal to them to an extent with this whole thing. And in some ways, it may pay off that he's gone through this tough period. I don't think it was necessary that they had to fire Budenholzer, but they did. And then they've gone through all this other crazy shit since. I don't know. The Bucks mystify me. I don't think they're very well run. But Giannis has been loyal to them, maybe even to a fault. So, yeah. Kaloy saying Malachi's still catching strays. Of course. He should catch strays forever, at least from me. I mean, I'll never forgive him for wasting our time for a few years, just like not fulfilling that promise of being the backup point guard for the Raptors in the right kind of way. Yeah, I won't forgive him for that. In some ways, he kind of destroyed our post-championship era because he was just such a fail as a backup point guard. Yeah, he'll catch strays. Reggie's here. Good to see Smooth Brown, man. It's a good trade for both New York and Toronto. Both teams got what they needed. Yeah. I thought that the IQ RJ OG trade was good for both teams too. But of course, people are going to try and spin it. New York media is going to obviously try and spin it in certain ways. Then part of it is because OG's being so successful right now. He's like the Eastern Conference Player of the Week. They're 3-1. He's shooting a crazy percentage from three, and he's locking down people. He had a game where he had 31 points and 6 threes the other day. That's part of it. Where were y'all when fucking RJ was doing this shit earlier this year? When he were running off a bunch of 30-point games in a row? Yeah, did y'all start saying, oh, the Raptors won this trade, obviously, because RJ Barrett is going off? I'm sorry. In some ways, it's a good trade for both teams. But once again, I'll say this. We've got 2 younger players that are still in development, and you cannot judge who won the OG trade until these guys show their potential higher and higher on the Raptors team. OG's where he's at. He's at his ceiling. Bro's not going to be that much better than he is right now. He's fantastic. I get it. But, well, RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley are under the tutelage of Darko's development. The sky's the limit still for them. And you can't judge who won the OG and Anunoby trade with New York and Toronto until RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley continue to progress right now. They will. In some ways, like I said, OG has hit his ceiling, and he was hitting his ceiling with us already. I'm telling you. And then he went to New York. He's doing the same shit he was doing for us right before he left. He got 30-point games the last year he was in our team. So, it is what it is. Kareem saying, I'm going to need Darko to do another Spain trip to lock in the players. I know Raptors are family, but I want incest. Okay, that was weird. Yeah, that's a strike. That's a strike. I just want a very close-knit family. That's very much a strike. You better watch out, Kareem Thomas. What the fuck are you saying? That is weird, man. That is weird. Why did you say that? No, you get a strike for that. That's not the direction you want to go. I'm going to deduct a dunk from you, too. I'm going to deduct a dunk for you because that is the opposite of a dunk. That is like, you know what? You went up to try and dunk it, and you bricked that shit to half court, bro. You just brick that shit to half court. Yeah, you're getting deduction. You're losing 3 points. You're back down to 57. I'm sorry, man. That's just too weird. Why would you say that? Seriously, that is gross and weird, man. Really weird. Smooth saying, is Flynn still on Charlotte? No, he's back with the Austin Spurs. His time ran out with that. And now he's back with the Austin Spurs. He's back on the G League. He was on a two-way or something. But he was with Charlotte shortly, briefly, not very long at all. He won't be on the game tonight. No, he won't be there tonight. That's for sure. Most saying, I'll try one more time to sign up for Discord, and if not, I seriously quit. Please, I hope you get in there. It's not about signing up. It's just we need you to stay logged in and don't try and get back out once you get in, because I feel like that's what happened the other night. It's just a learning curve. I know with everything online, sometimes it's just getting used to the interface and how the different buttons do. I know you're a master of Facebook. I know it's really easy. And in some ways, it's like going to Discord. It's a little bit like taking a new class and kind of like learning about what does this do and what does this do and what do I expect. I get it, Mo. In some ways, the first time I went on Discord, I had the same reaction as you. Tom Duke and I tried to start a Discord 2 years ago, and I was like, I threw my hands up and said, I can't do this. So this is common. This happens to everybody with Discord in the beginning. But once you figure it out and it clicks, it's amazing, Mo. And I really do hope you'll make a concerted effort to get in there and you will be successful, because this is the future for this channel is going to be on there, more and more interaction. And I don't want you to miss out. You are awesome. And you're a very social person. And you need to be a part of our social stuff on there. Yeah. Fiercely saying, good morning, fam, and happy game day. If some of you go to the game, enjoy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Monique's going. I'm not sure if anybody else was going. I thought about going at the last minute. Maybe I should go. I should just say, fuck it. I'm going to go to the game, the last game of the season, because it's like, might as well. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm all by myself. I'll just fucking go to the game by myself. Maybe I will. I don't know. Probably not, though. I'm going to probably be lazy and just stay here. I'll be working out and just watch the game here probably. And in some ways, that's nice because I can talk to you guys during the game. Let's see. Carlos saying the he shall not be named is already on that trade for Jokic train. He's willing to give Yak, IQ, and RJ and 3 firsts to Denver. Of course, he doesn't want to trade his guy, Scotty, but everybody else he will. The rest of barbecue along with the Yak. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I don't even want to get into trade speculation for Jokic because, first of all, a couple of things have to happen in order for this to happen. And some of them are hiring a new GM for Denver when Calvin Booth's contract runs out this summer. They got to get a new person in because none of these moves and none of this stuff that they do will happen until after that. Now, it is likely they will move Jokic. Seriously. It's partly because Jamal Murray's contract is not that movable and he's on a longer contract. And in some ways, they could get more for Jokic. And what they really do need to do is replenish and recycle the team a little bit. It's like they need a rebuild. And Jokic is the thing that'll be in the way. So I don't know. I don't know what would happen. There could be some convoluted ass crazy way where he's on the Lakers all of a sudden with Luka. and there's some bullshit going on like that. Seriously, that could happen, man. Yeah, who you shall not be named. Fuck him. Two finger salute for him. Why does he look so shady on his stream too, man? He looks like he has his hat clumped down. He's like, hey guys, yeah, oh, my porn's up. And he like takes it down real quick. I don't know what the fuck that guy's about, man. I don't watch him, and I don't want to. Let's see. Fiercey saying that Discord is cool. Yeah, it is cool. It was cool. I got to talk to Fiercey in person on the camera and talk to her just one-on-one. It was awesome. And I look forward to that more. If y'all see me on Discord and I'm in the voice chat, jump in there and you can just talk to me. If you come in there, I will turn my mic on and talk to you guys. But because usually I'll just have it on while I'm working during the day. And if somebody wants to come in there and talk Raptors with me or hang out or something like that, it's there. You can do it. And we can talk. We can cam. We can either mic or cam. And I can share a screen or you can share a screen. It could be very well that you have something you want me to see, like a YouTube channel or some clip or something like that. It's a really conducive place to be able to do this kind of stuff. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Reggie's saying at Superfan Mo, the greatest. It's learning the icons on Discord, Mo. There's two general tabs. One is for general and the other is for voice chat. General chat, you post comments for everyone in the group. Voice chat is to talk with others and your microphone. You can also turn on your camera as well. Yeah. The problem I think that Mo's having is she's having trouble just accessing her account at this point. Like she logged out and now she can't even get into her account. So it's like getting back on Discord. You know, in some ways, I would tell her just start over and make a whole new account because it's not like you have anything that's totally new. Like you didn't build a whole lot on this first one. So basically, you can make a new name and put it on a different one of your emails. And this time, save all the login information so that it's not a hassle. You can just click on the tab for Discord, and you come in and you're already logged in and ready to talk to us. So yeah, it was really awesome the night that Mo was there and we could talk after the game and watch the highlights. That was so cool. And I want to do that. I want to do that more. James is saying just YouTube, how to use Discord. They break it down. It's some weird like thing with it doesn't allow her to link in, like come in, log in. And her brother was helping her try and figure it out. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. In some ways, it's not totally it's not intuitive. And in some ways, that is part of the problem. In some ways, it's like, oh, if it was like, it seemed like it was just something simple. I don't understand why, because she's not the only person who's had this issue. I've had this issue too. I think that Reggie's had different issues with coming back into Discord after initially coming in. So in some ways, it's maybe partly the problem with the program, but also if we can figure it out and get it established, once you're in and you can be in for good, ooh, that'll be good. That'll be good. We'll figure it out. Yeah, Smooth saying I'm also getting the hang of it. It's fun. I'll turn on my camera one of these days. Yeah, that'll be fun. And like I said, we got all kinds of different stuff we can do on there, not just basketball related. There's the wrestling we're talking about doing. There's also music reactions we're talking about doing. There's all kinds of potential in different ways. One of the things that could happen this year, y'all, is my stream time may shrink even more on this channel in the morning. I'm actually considering trying to do a half hour to hour show every day when it's not as busy in the summer because there's not as much news. And then having more time for the Discord stuff outside of it, at the other times of the day. So there may be a little bit more shifting of my work for this channel off of this channel onto the Discord. And in the mornings, the streams may get shorter during the summer. I've even contemplated, I know that y'all are going to be like, I don't know. I should ask a poll on this because y'all will, I know what y'all are probably going to say. Should Lex take the summer off? Because I am seriously considering it. I've gone 3 years straight, but I have a streak. And I'm like, I don't know. Should I keep the streak and be here every day with you guys? Or should I take the summer off like the rest of the Raptors people do? And, actually have like no commitment to do it in the morning. So I'm not totally sure. I'm leaning towards continuing to do it every morning, but it's been kind of like attractive. I may do something like maybe I don't do the stream exactly, but I do content every day to keep the streak. I don't know. There's a couple different ways to look at it. See, no so far. 100% no. Everybody's saying no so far. No, I should not take the summer off. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see what else you guys are saying here. Okay, Fiercey saying, "Whoa, Phoenix experiment was a fail, but we called it. I don't want Jokic as it means we part ways with valuable pieces. The vibes are good this year. Pressers with RJ, Scotty, and Darko were good. Yeah, yeah, those guys are awesome. RJ was really professional, and Scotty's happy, and Darko very upfront about things. He said that Brandon didn't practice yesterday. They were talking about him full practicing yesterday, but it was the last real full practice of the team for at home. You know, they'll play this game tonight. They'll go on the road to Texas, play the last two games, and that's really it. Like in some ways, they did the exit interviews with these guys and told them what they got to work on. So I'm pretty sure once they're done on Sunday, they're free to just go off into their summer lives and take some time off and do what they do. So yesterday was really the last big practice for the team. And unfortunately, Brandon did not participate. Darko was thinking he would, but he did not. So the chances of Brandon playing in these last three games is nil. It's not going to happen. We won't see Brandon Ingram's Raptor debut until next season, guys. So yeah, I'm not about trading for Jokic because I like the chemistry we got right now at barbecue. And once again, man, I'm not trying to sell out RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is not expendable in my eyes. That man is a hometown hero, and he needs to be in a Raptors jersey for the rest of his career if I have my way. He'll be on this team with Scotty the whole time. He's not like he's a trade piece or chip that we need to keep throwing into this trade machine over and over again. That's disrespectful to the man that wears 9 from the 905. So that's the way I feel about it right there for sure. Stargate saying Grady was the Raptors' best player the first month of the season, so much so that opposing teams started to scout him and game plan for him. How quickly we forget. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it does seem like a lifetime ago, especially like because that was before the election and everything that's happened in the last 6 months. But yeah, I mean, this is totally true. And that's what I'm trying to point out to people. Everybody's slagging on Grady now just because Jacoby's had success recently. You're idiots. The Grady was just as good this year, and he kicked a lot of ass this year. It's just that it wasn't recently, and you've forgotten. You've forgotten. That's right. No, Fiercely saying the Nuggets did Coach Malone dirty. Wow. Yeah, my statement on this is once again, coaches, when they start their season in training camp and preseason, they have a vision. They have a program. They have a idea of building up as the season goes on. And they start with training camp, laying the foundation, and they build each as the games go through the season. And you're a different team in November than the team you are now in April. And this is what's so mystifying to me. This man won y'all a championship 2 years ago, and you never won a championship in the NBA until that championship. You won ABA championships, sure, Nuggets, before the merger. And when the Nuggets were in the ABA, you won championships, but you had never won an NBA championship until this one. And this is how you thank the coach that coached you there. I mean, there may be problems underneath, like Nick Nurse was with us near the end that we don't know about or whatever. But still, this doesn't make any sense to me. Because, like I said, a coach starts a program for the year and he has a fruition and an idea of a vision that he wants to be at by this time of the year. But they're not even going to let the man who helped them win a championship see his vision through for this season. In fact, they're saying this guy, well, we're not going to waste any more time with him, just like Taylor Jenkins in Memphis. We're going to go ahead and make the switch now because we don't have any time to waste. What the fuck is that? In some ways, you firing your coach this late in the season shows that you just wasted the whole season building it up with him. Yeah. In some ways, why the fuck are you firing your coach a week before the playoffs start? This is unheard of. In fact, I was trying to ask the guys yesterday, have y'all remember any time where NBA coaches were fired like this that were in the playoffs like this? How the hell Taylor Jenkins and Michael Malone getting fired while Nick Nurse ain't getting fired right now? Like, seriously, is this upside down world? These guys are in the playoffs. This is some Adrian Griffin shit. Like, Adrian Griffin will be top team in the East, and they fired his ass in the middle of the season. That wasn't as bad. That made more sense because they did it before the All-Star game. But doing it a week before the playoffs start for the Denver Nuggets is fishy as fuck. And that's why, in some ways, the conspiracy theories that maybe Stargate has about this, I'll agree with. I will agree with them, seriously. Because, man, something's weird about this. And maybe LeBron doesn't have much time on the clock still. And the NBA is being manipulative. Maybe there's a little pressure on the Grizzlies and Nuggets organizations. Why don't you guys go ahead and fire your coach? Yeah, why not? The byproduct could be an easier path for LeBron to the finals. That's what I'm thinking right now. It's crazy. It don't make no sense. Kaloy saying, I'm a believer that defense can be learned with effort and focus. Therefore, I believe that Grady can level up his defense and that will complete him. Yeah, in a couple of years, he's going to be a bigger guy. Like in some ways, he'll have bigger shoulders, he'll have bigger arms. He'll won't look like such a kid. And that's where it'll come. And it's gonna come. It's gonna come. He's got the right height, he's got the right energy, and he's got the right drive. And he has shown improvement in his body since he showed up the first time we saw him. Like Darko said, he looked like he was 16 when he first showed up on the Raptors. And now he's maturing more and more, especially with his body. And that's weight training and just getting that upper body strength up. And Grady knows the task. There's a few of these guys on the team that have had to do this. Emmanuel, Jameson, and now Grady. And yeah, he's doing it. He's doing it. I believe he's getting better and better as defender. In some ways, Grady's defensive acumen of getting in passing lanes and stealing balls and just being a dogged kind of energy guy, that serves him well to be a better and better defender as time goes on. That really, really does. Yeah, Calvin Booth was not technically fired, Reggie. He was just, they announced that he would not be extended when his contract runs out this summer. So he's technically still the GM of the Nuggets as of right now. It's just that when his contract runs out in this offseason, he's not going to be signed back on. He's going to go hasta la vista. So that's technically what's happened. He's essentially been fired, yes, but it's technically not totally true. Let's see. G saying there is a very funny newer series called Running Point. That it's a basketball series with Ted Lasso humor. Okay, Running Point. See, this is the thing. G's telling me about a new show. If we could get on the Discord together, maybe you could show it to me and he could watch me react to it in live time. That's one of the amazing things about it. Is right there. That's right. James, let's see. Fiercely saying that reporter asking about Scotty's shooting was hella messy. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. It's so stupid. They come to Scott and they're asking him about his season. I said, and it's like Grange or somebody like that. And they're like, oh, but Scotty, your season wasn't so good for shooting this year. And Scotty doesn't outright say it. He's like, well, there's been some issues and stuff like that. When they asked RJ about it, which I don't even know why RJ's getting asked about Scotty's shooting issues, RJ said, well, his hand's been hurt for a couple months now. He just straight up said it. Darko said it too. I mean, that's obvious. What there's a shooting slump for Scotty this year is because a big chunk of this year, his hand has been hurt, his shooting hand, and that has affected his percentages. So Scotty, being a good team player and wanting to be out on the court as much as he can because he can play, has pivoted to being a glue guy and doing more defensive stuff and not tried to be so offensive, partly because of the injury to his hand. That makes sense to me. I don't understand why people can't understand that. Maybe Scotty's not shooting as well because his hand's hurt. A finger on that shooting hand is hurt in particular. And also that he's shying away from shooting and doing that stuff partly because of it. And he may be more focused on other areas of his game. I mean, that makes sense to me. James said, I would still do the OG trade. Yeah. Yeah, do the OG trade. It's a good idea. I don't have regrets over it at all. But this is the thing. There's going to be this is one of the narratives that the people that are upset about it or saying something is, don't give me this bullshit that we couldn't have paid money to Pascal and OG and kept them on this team, because we've obviously invested in Emmanuel and Brandon now. And a lot of the people that wanted them to stick around on our team are upset because they're saying, oh, we didn't choose Siakam. We didn't choose Anunoby. We let them go. And we could have paid this money to them on our team and still had them. There's some people saying that shit. Well, once again, I'm going to say this. The reasons for Masai and Bobby to do what they do with moves are their own, and they understand it better than we do from the inside. And they saw the picture of what Darko was trying to build. And it could very well be they had private meetings with Darko early on when they hired him. And he kind of went over the kind of player types that he wants on the team. And OG and Pascal may not have necessarily fit the player types that Darko Rajakovic needed for his 0.5 offense. And I think that's what it is. So why would we invest a huge amount of money in Siakam and Anunoby if they were not going to fit with the new coach's idea and vision? No, they did exactly what they should have done. They traded them. And revisionists can be like, well, we invested in Brandon and Emmanuel. We could have invested this in OG. Now he's on the Knicks doing this for this. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. The vision that they had and working with their coach and talking about what they're going to do and build here in Toronto, those guys weren't in the picture. So get over it. I love Siakam. I love Anunoby. They'll always be great Raptors to me. But their time had come and they needed to move on. And that's just the damn truth about it. I was one of those people that really wanted Siakam to stay too. I know. But it wasn't for this thing we're building now. It just wasn't. And you can kind of understand why from what we're seeing now with the team and how they're doing things. In some ways, Siakam being on this team right now wouldn't exactly work right. Exactly. So, I mean, revisionist history, regret, questioning old moves that we've already made. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's futile. It's a waste of time. And the whole revisionist stuff about the OG IQ RJ trade is stupid. Because once again, these guys have not fulfilled their potential as young players, the guys that we got from New York. And until we see them continue to do what they're going to do, you can't fully gauge this trade in any kind of way. And people that are having buyer's regret or trade regret over OG being in New York and doing what he's doing now, get over yourself. That was like over a year ago. And he's been a Knick for a while. And we move on. Get present. How about that? And stop second guessing this shit. Because RJ Barrett will make you forget this next year. Watch. That's what I say to them. Yeah. Yeah. Carlos saying that I'm predicting a New York disappointment in the coming playoffs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that's coming. That the writing's on the wall for that for sure. The injuries late in the season for them and the lack of depth in certain areas on their team are going to hurt them immensely in the playoffs. In fact, I knew they were in trouble from the beginning of this year because Thibodeau's going to run them to the ground, just like Coach Casey ran DeMar and Kyle to the ground in the years in the middle of the 2010s. And when we got the playoffs, those guys couldn't do jack shit because they were tired. So there's a lot of that right there. Right there. You overplay your starters all year, Thibodeau, you get what you get in the playoffs. And that's just the damn truth right there. That's right. Randolph's here. Game day blessings, beloved Raptor freaks, most informative gang. Know that forgiveness is for the offended and the offender. If we do not forgive neither will God forgive us. Oh, will God forgive us? Man, that's the thing. All right. There's so much division in this world right now. People have to remember that that's a ploy and a power by the 1%, the very, very rich, to keep us divided. Because the more we're divided, we won't organize and come and get what we deserve from them. And that's the whole kit and caboodle right there. And sadly, people are being preyed on by their fears, and they're scared of stuff. And that fear is what drives the right wingers right now because they're afraid of immigrants, they're afraid of trans, they're afraid of this, they're afraid of woke, they're afraid of DEI. And in some ways, they're so afraid that they become monsters. And they're not really like humanistic people that care about other people or have empathy anymore. And that's dangerous. In some ways, we have to figure out a way to be okay with differences again in a civil way and understand that nobody really is a bad person. It's just that bad people are influencing people to think badly of other people and to be evil towards other people. If you have hate in your heart, you got to stop it. You got to go forward with love and even love for your enemies. That's the craziest thing about it. That's the most Christ-like thing to do. I mean, listen, there's nothing Christ about the White House and MAGA. No, they're about Satan. They're about destruction and hurting and starving people and letting old people die. The Social Security stuff that's happening right now is immoral and it's dangerous and it's very disgusting. There's a lot of unnecessary deaths that's going to happen in the United States because Elon Musk wants to play government efficiency games that are absolute bullshit. So, I mean, in some ways, I could detest them to the world, but in some ways, God's love would teach me, we're all creatures, and even the most evil, fucked up people still deserve consideration and love. That's the craziest shit about this. We could turn the other cheek and be the bigger people, and they run roughshod over us because they're just evil and fucks. That's the problem. In some ways, the Democrats and the left people have been nice and played the game right by the rules. And these other people have been cheating and lying and going the whole other way. In some ways, you can't fight against cheaters and liars if you're going to play by the rules while they aren't. So at some point, what is going to happen? You're just going to lose to evil because you're playing by the rules? No, at some point, we may have to cheat too. Either way, the whole point of Randolph's statement is that everybody should be loved by God. Everybody is human. And even the most evil, fucked up people that have been detached from their humanistic empathy and feelings and being a person that's human being, they're absolute monsters. There was a person in there at some point, somewhere, just like Darth Vader. There you go, guys. Thank you, Randolph Phillips, for your words of wisdom. I really appreciate you, man. Blessings to all the Phillips family and the other Rapid Freak families. That's right. Mo is going to the game tonight. Yes, she is. We knew she was. She got to get those opportunities in while she can. This is the last one. This is the last one. Let's see. Trevor's saying that would be so stupid for the front office. Move on from what they started to get all these young players to gel and with each other, and then turn around and break it up for one player. Yeah, that's why I'm not about it. That's why I'm not about it. There's a lot of promise in what we're building here in Toronto, and let's not lose focus, Raptors Nation. That's what I'm saying right now. There's a lot not lose focus just because you think something's changed. There's no guarantee that the Nuggets would actually try and part with him. Seriously, there's no guarantees on any of that. I mean, it's logically makes sense, but there's no guarantees on that. They could hold on to them and just stagnate for a few years with the same core, getting nowhere. I mean, it's really going to be up to the new GM and what happens when they take over. And that'll happen this summer. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I agree. It's stupid, Trevor. We got something good going on. Don't fuck with it. Let it go. Go on through. Yes, we're saying I'm on my way out. Good day, y'all. All right, Reggie. Maybe I'll see you around on the Discord later. All the best to you, Smooth. I hope you have a great day. G saying you need a break, but maybe do one day a week in the summer. You know what I'll do is I might experiment with content on certain weeks. Like maybe one week, just like when I was in Estonia last year, I'll do short, brief little things for a little while in the dead of the summer. And I'll enhance the content and connectivity for the RFF through the Discord otherwise. So does that make sense? So maybe I'll do check-ins. Maybe they're not full live streams where we talk with each other, but me just coming in and doing an update on news or some big event that happened. And then like some of the Discord will be where we actually can chat and do more of that. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I do want to continue my streak. So it could be that I'm still doing content every day. It's just that the 2-hour stream in the morning is not a set fixed thing for sure. It could be on certain week. I'm not doing the stream this week, but I will be doing check-ins every single day of content. So you will get the streak continue. Does that make sense? I think that I'll probably do that. I'll be flexible. And it could be it's not for the whole week. It could be certain days of the week I am still coming on. Like I could have a standing date that every Thursday we're doing the Thursday think tank and we will do the call-in show. But on other days, it may be a little bit more easy and simple. Like it could be that I do the Share the Love Club differently, where on Saturdays I just come on for a second and I do a Share the Love for somebody that like we do, and not necessarily do a full stream where you guys are all talking too. I just come in and I say, guys, I want to share the love today for Blake Murphy. Thank you, Blake Murphy, for being one of the best information sources for the Raptors. There may be some leeway. I would still do trivia on Tuesdays. There may be just certain days I'm not doing a full stream. And maybe like 3 days a week I'm doing full streams. And then the other 4 days I'm doing content for those days during the summer. That could work. That's kind of the middle path, right? Doing kind of a little mix of both. Yeah, I think that might work. I think that your guys are helping me figure it out right here. Stargate saying to get a player like Jokic, you would have to gut your team. Are you willing to gut this team so early in the rebuild? No. And that's why I say it's a big mistake. You guys need to stop with this one player mindset. It's called a basketball team. There you go. Stargate, you get a dunk. I completely agree with this sentiment right here. And in some ways, we have an actual team right now, a team with good chemistry, good vibes, and a good future. And we don't want to get in the way of that by being like looking at shiny toys to the side and like, ooh, that looks shiny. Let's play with that. No, you're at 51 Stargate on the dunk chart at this point. Yeah. Let's see. Trevor's saying, when I set up my Discord, I download the app and then you set it up. So once you put your information in and password, you just have to click on the app and you'll be back in. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what's happening with Mo, of course, because I'm not there and I can't see it. And I tried to troubleshoot with her through Messenger, but it's been very frustrating to her. And I don't like that. I don't like that she's been frustrated with it. I wish it was easy and that everything just kind of happened easy. I mean, there's been issues in the past with different stuff. But yeah, in some ways, if we can figure this out and get it established and set up so it's just cool and she feels comfortable in there, that would be ideal. That would be ideal. Fiercely saying, I agree. Those recent firings are subtly helping the LA Fakers. Yeah, it's really kind of weird. It's really weird. It's like, in some ways, is this league catering to help the Lakers in every kind of way? Trade your franchise player, Dallas. Fire your coach, Memphis. Fire your coach, Denver, and your GM. It's like, what's going on here? Is there some sort of weird like conspiracy to help the Lakers get to the finals because LeBron's time's running out? That's what it seems like to me. Stargate saying there's another conspiracy theory that it's in the streets. They're talking about that could be another possible reason that the NBA is orchestrating all this. It has to do with LeBron in an off-court situation that he may be involved in. And Adam Silver has gotten early wind of this and is getting ahead of it so it doesn't tarnish the league's image. But I digress. Well, I hope it's not LeBron and Diddy parties. The overtures that have happened in the last year with Sean Combs' legal problems, although he did get out of some of the charges recently. He was found not guilty. But, there has been overtures that LeBron was around Puff Daddy during those really bad incidents that were happening. So I don't know if it's something to do with that or there's some other weird scandal that has to do with LeBron. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm curious. In some ways, maybe this would be extra content, extra discussion on the Discord. Then maybe Stargate will be willing to talk to me about it with his own words on there. Yeah, Trevor's saying last night the Celtics beat the Knicks, and the Knicks have not beaten the Celtics this season. Well, that's alarming. That's alarming for Knicks Nation, considering that may be the team that's the most in the way of them doing anything successful in the playoffs. That long-standing rivalry between the Celtics and the Knicks. Well, that's not a good sign. I know with the Raptors, we're trying to build something that can beat the Celtics, and we did beat them this year. The Knicks didn't beat the Celtics this year. Well, why not? We did. What's wrong with them? Why couldn't you beat the Celtics, Thibodeau? We beat them, and we only even have 30 wins this year. Yeah, how the hell did that happen? Y'all didn't beat them? We beat them. We beat them in preseason, and we beat them in the regular season too. I can't believe y'all didn't beat the Celtics. What's wrong with y'all, Knicks? Most saying W stream, W vibes, go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Lex. I'm going to try. It may morph a little bit. I want to allow for flexibility in my life. In some ways, having the standing 9:30 every morning may not work on certain days because there's the dentist, or maybe there's something that somebody wants to do with me in the morning. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I should just not do my stream today. Well, do a content later in the day. And that'll make up for the ice storm taught me anything. I can do a 15-minute check-in. I mean, a 15-second check-in, and that'll count as a stream, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to do that, though, too often. All right, let's do the Instagram stories. I'm a little bit behind here. Most saying, so what's going to happen with your Twitch, Lex? Answer that. Twitch, I'm still on Twitch. I'll use Twitch. And I thank you for putting out the alarm that Terrence Ross was on Twitch last night. I was busy, and I couldn't go in there and watch him. But I'll still watch Twitch. If Scotty's on Twitch, I'll try and watch him this summer. But I don't think Scotty's going to be on Twitch anymore. I think he's matured. He's not the same kid after his rookie year that spent most of the summer on Twitch. So I'd be surprised if Scotty's on Twitch very much this summer. There's other things like off season. He has a kid now, right? He has a baby, doesn't he? So in some ways, he's probably going to be in daddy mode and doing things with his family other than training. And the summer of Twitch may be something that never happens again. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Fiercely saying we beat them, Raptors over Celtics. That's right. We beat the Celtics. The Knicks did not this year. They have not beaten them once this year. We did beat them. All right. Instagram stories. Kelly Olynyk is on the court with Drew Timme. So we got Gonzaga guys hanging out together. The Gonzaga centers from the past. Olynyk and Timme together on the court. There's Teresa Resch is saying the women don't get a one shining moment. What is this? This is a clip. This is some clip of something called Together. It's a clip of the March Madness final for the women's tournament. Very interesting stuff. There's Siakam in motion on his Instagram. Y'all, I watched this is another thing on the Discord last night. I watched the Young Man in the 3 episode with Pascal Siakam and Andrew Nebhart, the whole episode. And y'all could have watched it with me in there if you were in there. Some people were around. But yeah, that's the thing. I'm watching cool content on off hours, like the Pascal interview with JJ Redick's old podcast. And it was very interesting to hear him and Andrew Nebhart talking, the two Pacers, with that show. So that's other fun things that we can do on Discord. Is there's stuff we watch together on there. There's Wubbs throwing it down on his Instagram, Jacoby Walter, and Garrett's in the back yelling on the bench. It looks really cool. Jamal Shed is celebrating a guy who just committed to University of Houston. That's Pop Isaacs. Pop Isaacs has committed to play for the University of Houston. That's good news to Jamal Shed. There's Norman Powell in an underground garage. Luckily, his truck does not have any sticky notes on it or saran wrap. Oh, that's funny. There's Dylan Dissu, an interview at a 905 courtside interview. I'm not sure what that event was. It looks like there's Coach Serrano, or that friend of Monique. They're sitting there with them also talking. Let's see. Lindsey Dunn's showing what happens between live TV reports and what she does. She's getting pulled around on a wagon at Scotiabank Arena. That's a little bit weird. AJ Lawson in motion, throwing it down on his Instagram. Savannah Hamilton showing a thirst trap in an elevator on her Instagram. She's tired. She wanted to get extra rest. She also hosted her Cinderella Stories podcast without Ashley Docking because Ashley's on vacation. So, yeah, cool stuff from Savannah. And she's breaking the news about Michael Malone's firing, which is weird. It's a very weird firing out of the blue. Not gonna lie. It's very, very strange. Let's see. What else do we have? Toronto Tempo what is the tempo of Canada is what they're asking. We'd like to know your thoughts, fans. What is the tempo of the country of Canada? I like that question. That's a pretty good one. Let's see. And then we got, that's not there anymore. All right. That's the Instagram stories. Pretty light on them. Not a whole lot going on around there right now. Let's see. All right. Let's do the classic card. We'll do right in a row since we're right there. Might as well. Let's see. Classic card. Oh, this is fun. Y'all better get this right away. All right. This is a 50-point card. This is super easy. So get this card right away. You can see it from there. Just get it. Get it right now while you can. First name, full name, answer. Don't write half of it. Stargate saying, I think teams have figured out the Celtics. I can't see them going all the way this season. I think a healthy Cavs or Bucks team can beat them in 7-game series. That is not Mark Price. That is not Mark Price. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Cavs will beat the Celtics if they play each other in a playoff. I'm not totally sure about the Bucks, though. But I'm pretty sure the Cavs will beat them. And I'm pretty sure the Thunder would beat the Celtics, too, if it gets to that point. That is not Mark Price. He played with Mark Price. Like, come on, look closer. You see it. Yeah, there it is. It's Steve Kerr. Of course, that's the coach of the Golden State Warriors. Steve Kerr, as a very young player on the Cleveland Cavaliers. In fact, that is his third year. His third year. That's what he looked like. Steve Kerr. You thought that was Jason Williams? White chocolate. Look at that picture of Steve right there. That's what he did when he saw the fight between Draymond and Jordan Poole in practice. That was his face. He looks like kind of like a ghost here. He's like, woo, I'm Steve Kerr. You know why he's so scared? Because he has to play defense. I have to play defense. What do I have to do? Yeah. Steve Kerr was like the backup 3-point shooter. I was a fan of this team too. They had some good players on it. Craig Elo, of course, was ahead of him, and Mark Price. And Steve Kerr was like the third point guard on this team. He wasn't even really that important at this point in his career. He didn't really have like a starter's career. He was always a bench guy, Steve Kerr. Always a bench guy. I don't think he really started hardly at all in his whole entire career. Always a bench guy. So 50 points for Stargate on the classic card of the day. Good job, man. It's an easy one. I was like, man, this isn't that hard. Come on now. It can't be that hard. Stargate getting it. Yeah. So let's give you the straight goods on Canadian goods real quick. Yesterday, y'all, I went out to eat at Mary Brown's Chicken, y'all. Mary Brown's Chicken is actually a Canadian franchise for fast food. And it was okay. I'm not really big on fried food, but if you want an alternative to like Chick-fil-A or Popeyes or something like that, Mary Brown's Chicken is a good Canadian substitute. So, and there's a lot of locations all over the place. So I'm endorsing today Mary Brown's Chicken. I ate there for the first time in my life yesterday. I'd never eaten at one. I don't know if I'll go back again just because my dietary restrictions do not allow fried food, but it's fantastic chicken. Good fried chicken, good tenders, good wings. It's just for me, my diet, it'll mess me up. And I'm a little messed up today, partly because of it. I'm not gonna lie. But I highly endorse the Canadian company, Mary Brown's Chicken. If you have a good digestive tract that can handle it and you're fine, you go ahead and eat it. But in some ways, I can't. I can't necessarily. Yeah. Stargate saying, I got sick from Mary Brown's Chicken, never went back. The problem with those kind of places is they have to change their oil regularly. And this goes for any fast food place, any of them, the American ones, McDonald's, Burger King. You don't change your oil regularly enough, you can taste it in the food, and it's really bad, especially with fried. Fried food needs the oil changed on a regular basis. And I'm at the point where if I eat at a place like that, and I can tell when they've changed their oil recently or not. And that can be the problem sometimes, is whether they change their fry oil, that kind of stuff. All right, let me go check my tabs since we're at the end of the stream here almost. Raptors Reddit. Let's see what they're saying there real quick. They are going on about the Lakers are favorite to be Nikola's next team, and the Raptors are on that list. It's funny because look at this, guys. They've got the Lakers with the best chance, plus 500. Then they've got KK Mega Basket, which I'm guessing is a Serbian team. KK Joker. What is that? They have a team named Joker over there already? And he'll just go over there and join the Joker on the Joker team? That makes sense. And then the Raptors. So the top 4 choices that are likely for him, the odds makers in Vegas are saying, are the Lakers, 2 teams in Serbia, and then the Raptors, followed by the Clippers after that, the Warriors, the Thunder, the Nets, the Heat, and the Magic. So that's crazy. I mean, I know it is because of Darko. It's because of Darko. Totally why. Yep, there's already on Raptors Reddit, there's a Jokic with the Raptors jersey superimposed over his body on the page right there. So yeah. Jokic, they've quoted Jokic saying here that he loves Darko being the coach of the Raptors. They're taking an old quote from when we hired Darko, and they asked Nikola Jokic during the finals, how do you feel about Darko getting hired by the Raptors? He said, I love it. I love it. Well, of course he does, because he's seeing the advancement of a Serbian guy in the NBA. So yeah, that's basically what's going on Raptors Reddit. They're reacting to the Michael Malone firing, and they are also pining and acting like they want him. There's no news on Blue Skies that's new that I see here. It is what it is. It's just the news of players that are out from Blake Murphy, and that's about it. Let's see what's ESPN front page saying right now. Luka's in trouble because he got injected from a game, but he was trash talking with an Oklahoma City fan, not with the referee, is what he's saying. And they're saying that he's still adapting to being on the Lakers after all these 2 months of being there. Yeah, they lost to the Thunder pretty good last night by 16 points. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see. A happy birthday to Raptor Freak. Firebolt. It's Carla's birthday today out on the East Coast. She's holding it down for us in the Maritimes. So let's say a happy birthday to Firebolt, guys, this morning. Yeah, and there's the Discord. I'm going to look at the Discord. Let's see. Kaloy's in there right now. I see you're in there, Carlo JS, right now. Checking in on the Fantasy League. Kaz is winning right now over Peter in the championship game, 3-2. Still till Sunday, till the last day of the season on Sunday, the season will be over, and we'll have our new Raptor Freak fantasy champion, whether it'll be a new one or the returning champion winning it again. We'll have to see. But right now, Kaz is in the lead. And in the consolation bracket, I'm slightly beating Andrew. Jason Dukes is beating Gerald pretty good right now. And MK has a sweep on David in his matchup 7-0. All right, I guess that's it. Let me do the rundown real quick, the wrap up, and we'll get done in an hour and a half. Kaloy saying testing out the mic and video. Haha. Yeah, I'll have to do that, man. I'll have to do that with you later. Yeah. Stargate saying he's going back home and everything. Jokic will not like playing in LA whatsoever. That's not his cup of tea at all. I can see that too, but I thought that about Luka too. Although Luka seems like he's gaga for the Hollywood lights and this the way it is there. I mean, it's very different than Dallas, I'm sure. And in some ways, he's a celebrity there. He's the hot thing. He walks around Hollywood. He may see somebody famous, and they may be all weird about seeing him because they're like, "Oh, it's Luka. He's on the Lakers now. Isn't it awesome? I love you, Luka." oh my gosh, that's Scott Baio. Stupid shit like that is probably happening to him. I don't know. I mean, I tend to think you're right, Stargate, that he's not going to be into the extra attention that playing for the Lakers would bring if he was on that team. It's kind of nice to be on Denver, a team that's kind of ignored by the NBA as a whole and the media in certain ways. Yeah. Luka and Jokic are completely different personalities. Yeah, they're similar in some ways, but I agree with you too. I think that the Lakers and the NBA may really honestly try to get Nikola paired up with Luka, because this is the thing. They've seen them acting around each other at All-Star games, how much fun they have, and they do like each other, and they did publicly say it'd be great to play with each other. Well, the Lakers would love to have a super team of Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic on the same team, obviously. And if Adam Silver can finagle making that happen, it could be the thing where it's kind of like LeBron rides off in the sunset and Nikola's the new team guy paired up with Luka in the next couple years. I don't know if any of this stuff happens. Just say, well, you see the way they write the script in the NBA. That's what I'm saying. So, all right, let's do the back down on the rundown real quick. Injuries for the Raptors, they're extensive. We do not have a lot of guys for tonight. Jacoby Walter is ruled out for tonight. He will not play. Oshai Abaji is on rest. He will not play. Jamal Shed is on rest. He will not play. Scotty Barnes is questionable for his hand, but I'm guessing he will play. Jakob Poeltl is questionable for his hand, but I'm guessing he will not play. Brandon Ingram is not playing. Grady Dick is not playing. Ulrich Shamshay is not playing. That means Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett are in, and hopefully Scotty too. And I'm going to guess the starting lineup for the Raptors tonight will be Emmanuel, Jamison Battle, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Jonathan Mobo as the starters for the Raptors, because they are missing quite a few guys. The ESPN matchup predictor is predicting the Raptors have a 78% chance to win today. The Hornets have a lot of injuries, and they're not totally listing them all, but LaMelo and Brandon Miller are out, and so is Josh Green and Damian Bowell. So I'm guessing the starting lineup for the Hornets tonight will be KJ Simpson, Seth Curry, DeQuan Jeffries, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams. So they'll have at least Miles Bridges. The referees for tonight's game against the Hornets, the last home game for the Raptors of the season, Trey Maddox is the crew chief. He favors the Raptors. Andy Nagy is the referee. He favors the Raptors. And the umpire is Michael Smith, 32-year ref, who favors the Hornets. So that is the ref crew. It's not a bad ref crew. Those guys are pretty much all on the up and up. All right, guys, thanks for watching me. Don't believe the hype about this Denver move yesterday. Raptors fans, don't fall for this shiny object kind of stuff. Just because this is happening, it's not worth it. It's not the thing to do. So, hang on. Sorry. I don't know why that phone's ringing. Mo's saying Terrence Ross said he returned to Twitch this week. Awesome. Yeah, I should go in there and reconvene with Ross and thank him for coming to Toronto and being a part of our 30th anniversary celebration, and just pick his brain about how it went and say, hey, Terrence, how did you like coming back up to Toronto and being on the broadcast and getting the applause from the fans? And hopefully he'll just say amazing things. I'm sure he will. So, yeah, if he's on there again in the near future, which he probably will be because that's what he's been doing, I'll definitely come in there and talk to him. So I am still going to use Twitch, and I still will be around on there. I'm still not totally sure about Facebook, Mo. I want to leave badly, but I don't know if I can. It's really hard, man. It's really, really hard to make that decision. Stargate saying, I think if there's one player who is anti-league on the down low, it's Nikola. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. He's the best player in the last 5 years, and probably, yeah, that's the crazy thing. All right, so the poll is over, and the final result is going to be, should Lex take the summer off? 18% said yes, and 82% of you said no. So I'm Democratic. I believe in elections being fair and having the democratic will of the people. So I will not take the summer off because y'all have decided this. And I'll probably do some sort of hybrid of things like I said I would do. Yeah. Let's see. Stargate saying, I love his brothers. They're wacko and fun. The Jokic brothers. Yeah, they're pretty crazzy. All right, y'all. Have a good day. Let's hope the Raptors win tonight. 30th game win of the year. And I feel like they will. My astute opinion is we have nothing to worry about tanking or winning right now. We can win tonight and it won't hurt us. So I hope we put our best foot forward and get a win for the home crowd, is to send the home crowd home happy. Specifically Monique, in the last home game of the season. So let's be GOATs tonight, Raptors, and give the fans what they want on GOAT night for the fans. Give them a win. That's what I want to see tonight, Raptors. You can do it. It's the Hornets. They're not that good. All right. Thanks for watching me today, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and join. If you join, you get access to the Discord server if you join as a member of this channel. I appreciate everybody, y'all. It's not been totally easy couple of weeks and months for me on the download, but you guys have been a rock for me, and I appreciate you guys a lot. So I'll be back tomorrow with reaction to the game, and then we'll have 2 more games to go, a Texas two-step. All right, love you guys. I'll see you on Discord. I should be on there in office hours for most of today leading up to the game. So if anybody wants to hang out and talk some more Raptors just one-on-one, I'm in there. And that's what the office hours are for. So if you see my status in the voice chat saying office hours or watching something, you guys are always welcome to come and join me. Sometimes I might be just watching something random like on YouTube and sharing it. And, if you want to watch it with me or you don't, whatever, the option is there. If you're ever bored, yeah, Raptor Freak Discord is a place to be. That's what I'm saying. All right, guys, all the best. I love you guys. Let's go Raptors. And one more time, F-U-L-L-U-B-Y. Yeah, F-U, man. Jeez. Anyway, I love you guys. Bye.